Well, the weather's been amazing since Tuesday, and this has been a long week of in the dugout of Premier League football, which this game week started from Saturday all the way to Thursday. A lot happened in that, and I shall proceed what went on. Because this week was long, it also means that I am recording this during game week 36, so that's going to come up hopefully soon after this one. But with dark, rainy weather, that means I can secure my place into doing the In the Dugout League review. So, again, at the top of the table is Posh's Pablos, managed by Josh Samuels. Had an incredible week, picking up 75 points, adding his total to 2,046. The only player to get as far as passing that 2,000 mark. But he went into the weekend, made 2 changes at Sunday at 4, taking out De Bruyne, who got him 2 points, in for Pogba, and Petr Cech, who has been his goalkeeper for a long time. He ended his last game with Josh with just a point, and then was replaced by David De Gea. But onto his team, David De Gea. He scored 10 points. It's for Man United. Cesar Azpilicueta, just the 1 point in total. Some of these teams will have played 2 games, so the points will be a bit complicated. So if I stumble, it's probably going to be because of that. Victor Moses, his total points was 12. Marcus Alonso, 3. He got an assist, conceded twice against Southampton, and he couldn't play against Burnley after the FA had fined him for his stamp on Shane Long. Paul Pogba was transferred in for the Man United vs West Brom game, and between there and then he got 2 points for that game, having lost 1-0, and then when they played Bournemouth away, Pogba got an assist, so that's 7 points in total. Christian Eriksen, 10 points, having scored and got an assist in each game. Son Heung-min, 6 points, looking as though he's come off the bench for one of the games. Might be against Man City or Brighton. But okay, this is going to be like one of the hardest to get through. But Dele Alli, who picked 7 points in total, just 2 points in total. Alexis Sanchez was the captain. He played in the West Brom game, didn't do anything in points wise, so that's just 4. And Romelu Lukaku scored against Bournemouth, so that is 8 points to add on from the West Brom game where he had 2, and then he came off the bench against Bournemouth and scored, so 8 points. Jamie Vardy played against Burnley, scored 7 points, and then he played against Southampton. That game ended 0-0, so 2 points with a total of 9. So yes, that was quite a week for Josh. and it's gonna take the final day to even for him to even be challenged for surely. But this is getting longer than needed. If you really want a good way to sum up Josh, just look at some of my previous videos. In second place is fellow in the dugout host Chris Fowler. Now, having finished 6th in the Manager of the Month positions, his 69 points kept him well enough to remain in this position for the entire week, for sure. But he had also a bit of a down and up week. I believe at first he was somewhat in the bottom half, but at least he did a good he had a good enough recovery. David De Gea picked 2 points against West Brom despite the 1-0 loss. And then he helped Man United keep a clean sheet and given himself an extra point with by getting 8 against Bournemouth, so giving him a total of 10 points. Nacho Monreal, Arsenal play. I can't remember who Arsenal played. They but he had Nacho Monreal, and he didn't get a point from the weekend total. And then you've got Nicholas Otamendi of Manchester City, who got 1 point from the weekend. Man City, he played Tottenham 1-3-1, and that goal, which I'll mention by one of the other players, by Christian Eriksen, meant he lost his extra 6 points. Davinson Sanchez conceded 3 from Man City and then 1 from Brighton. And yeah, that's right. He conceded 4 with no goal or assist. Onto his midfield, Son Heung-min 6 points, having gotten an assist. But his 6 points. I've probably explained it for the for Josh's one, but if I haven't, I'll see if I can explain it for the next one. But going through the rest of his team, Sadio Mane scored against Bournemouth when Liverpool beat them 3-0, so that's 8 points. Mohamed Salah also scored against Bournemouth, and he was Chris's captain, 16 points. Leroy Sané, just the 2 for Man City. Romelu Lukaku, again, he got his points by building on his 2 against West Brom and coming off the bench to score against Bournemouth, so picking up 6 from that game. So he has 8 points. Roberto Firmino scored against Bournemouth, so that's 7 points. And Gabriel Jesus, who scored for Man City and got an assist, so that's 10 points. So Chris is quite a way off Josh, and still relatively ahead of Alex. But hey, if I can challenge for third, why can't Chris challenge for the league title? I remember after looking at the weekend for Alex, his manager of the week, it was low. But then he recovered from the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday games and got himself 72 from his weekly total. and he went in having brought in he took after what Man City did, he took out Gabriel Jesus and Kevin De Bruyne and replaced them with Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku, who proved to be good choices later on in the week. Ederson pulled off a save, so he's back where he started after also conceding against Tottenham, so just the two. Antonio Valencia, he only played against West Brom, and that was the one they lost in, so it's just 1 point. Laporte of Man City was a defender against Tottenham. Christian Eriksen scored, so just 1 point. Davinson Sanchez, again, -1. Eden Hazard scored against Southampton for Chelsea, 8 points, and then he came off the bench against Burnley, so 9 points. Paul Pogba played in the West Brom game, picked no points up, and then in the Bournemouth game he came off the bench and got an assist, so 7 points if I've mathed that correctly. Sung Min, now, as I think he might have, let's see, he would have assisted Eriksen's goal against Man City and then come off the bench against Brighton. Dele Alli, just the 2 points. I don't know whether he played against Man City or Brighton. Mohamed Salah, 8 points. Romelu Lukaku, who came in for Gabriel Jesus after picking the 10 points up. He also was the captain, so having picked up the 8 points, as I've explained earlier, Alex's doubling means Lukaku has 16 points. Harry Kane scored against Brighton and featured against Man City, so 9 points. So Alex, in these previous 2 weeks, he has stumbled a bit, and the way it's I had a really good weekend, and also he's got less players. I thought also have more players who are going to be playing this weekend, so that could mean the gap could just get narrower and narrower. But that's the spoiler ahead of the rest of the league, and let's get into it. 4th place is the Pirates Brigade. Now, I got the Manager of the Week award, and I'm now currently 2nd in the Manager of the Month, as things currently stand. And I took this very seriously, and it paid off. So I made 2 changes going into the weekend. I took out Shaqiri, Ekshid and Shaqiri. I knew I was going to take him out at some point, and replaced him with Jamie Vardy, who got 9 points. Who I've just admitted what he did, but also Harry Maguire, who I was expecting to keep him longer, but I didn't. I decided to bring in Victor Moses, and he actually turned out to be a better choice. David De Gea was my goalkeeper, who I've had since day 1. He was also my captain, and he got me 20 points. 2 against West Brom, and then 8 against Bournemouth, leaving him a total of 10. Captain in double magic, 20 points, which has been a key part of him giving me my Manager of the Week award. Ashley Young, who played left back for Man United against West Brom, but the fullbacks of Man United were rested on Thursday night for the FA Cup game, so against Tottenham. So he just got 1 point. Victor Moses. Well, Chelsea conceded 2 against Southampton. He was on the bench, so his points weren't retracted. And also, if no, he just picked 1 point up for the Southampton game. And then Chelsea played Burnley on Thursday night. He assisted the first goal, and then he scored the second, bringing some more points in the bag for me and for Josh. Andrew Robertson kept a clean sheet in Liverpool's 3-0 win over Bournemouth. Kevin De Bruyne of Man City, just the 2 points. Christian Eriksen, he scored against Man City and then assisted Harry Kane's goal against Brighton. Mohamed Salah, 8 points after his goal against Bournemouth. Leroy Sané, just the 2 points. Glenn Murray, he scored against... who did he score against? Crystal Palace. He scored against Crystal Palace, and then he just featured against Tottenham, so that's 9 points. And Harry Kane, he featured in the Man City game, but didn't gain or lose anything, so it's just 2 points. And then on Tuesday night, he scored against Brighton, 7 points, making his total 9. And then Jamie Vardy scored against Burnley, and then just featured against Southampton in the 0-0 draw. So giving me 9, which gave me some triplets of 9. And my front three gave me a total of 20. No, it wasn't. Yeah, he gave me a total of 27. That was a big factor going forward. And I think I've done very well since I first started this series. I think I've picked up the past 2 Manager of the Week awards, and I'm currently second behind Josh in the Manager of the Month. So, and also my team for this weekend looks to be good, as most of my team are from teams that are playing in games that aren't affected by the FA Cup semi-finals. And I mentioned earlier that my form is helping cut Alex's 3rd place lead ahead of me, and then I can jump out of the Europa League places and into the Champions League places. But enough of me, let's go down to the other team in the Europa League places. RC Optical Lens keeps its place in 5th, despite having quite a mediocre week, finishing 9th finishing 10th in the Manager of the Week section. In fact, his closest rivals have caught right up with him, and there could just be a challenge. But I think from here onwards, there's going to be little to no transfers, so not even from Tony. So going for his team, David De Gea, 10 points. Phil Jagielka picked up 1 point in Everton's back line. Ashley Young played in 1 game for Man United, and with the J. Rodriguez goal, meant it was just 1 point. Michael Keane also playing alongside Phil Jagielka. And the goal Everton conceded means Michael Keane is on 1 point. Joe Gomez injured at the time, so he wasn't playing, so 0 points. David Silva played against Tottenham, but just 2 points. Kevin De Bruyne, captain and probably the best player of the season. It's usually between him or Mohamed Salah, but having not done enough to get a point, he just had the 2 points, but with Mr. Samuels Jr. captaining Kevin De Bruyne, that means he is on 4 points. Dele Alli, just the 2. Mohamed Salah scored against Bournemouth, as I said, 8 points. Leroy Sané came very close in hitting the post just in the opening game. Not opening game, but the game against Tottenham. But despite it's just the 2 points. Sergio Aguero. Gabriel Jesus, sorry. Scored and assisted Raheem Sterling's goal, so that's 10 points. And having picked up 49 points this weekend, compared to the other teams, that looms above him in the Manager of the Week. That wasn't that amazing, but I think the next few weeks he can do well enough to secure his position, despite the compatibility that's coming from the 2 teams behind him, which I will talk about soon. In fact, I'll talk about the first one right now. You know what? This might be the last time I call him Ewan Waddle. For the next few episodes, I might just call him Gylfie Pleasures, because that's an awesome name. But that's the team name. But Gylfie Pleasures didn't have a great week, but made it despite their 35 points, did at least draw closer to Tony Samuels. Nick Pope, he's unique in this respective in terms of our league, picked up 5 points in total. He conceded 1 against Leicester and then 2 against Chelsea. So somewhere he would have made a few saves. So 5 points in the 2 games, despite conceding 3. Must have been on form. But I still don't think he's ready to go to the World Cup with England. But that's a different story. Christian Fuchs, still playing second fiddle to Ben Chilwell, so 0 points. Marcus Alonso picked up 3 against Southampton, but the stamp with against Shane Long, that eventually ruled Alonso out. Disciplinary against Burnley. Andreas Christensen didn't play in, and I don't know if he played against Southampton or not, but he's on 0 points. A defender and a keeper loses a point when they concede a goal. So he might well have played against Southampton. I don't think he did, but moving on. David Silva picked 2 points up for Man City against Tottenham. Kevin De Bruyne, again captained by one of these teams, 4 points. Dele Alli, 2 points. Mohamed Salah, 8 points. Leroy Sané, 2 points. Sergio Aguero, injured, so not playing at all. Harry Kane, 9 points. I just realised that I mixed couple of the teams run. So last one, Leroy Sané wasn't in Tony Samuel's side. It was Christian Eriksen who got 10 points. And but with Gylfi Pleasures, yeah, yes, he's I see him as a possible contender for that 5th place spot, and I forgotten how well he's been doing. I don't think I've really checked too much on how he was doing about now, but we'll see what's going on next weekend. I thought this Europa League 5th place spot was going to be a race for or between two people, but actually, after the great week Mr. Christie's had, he's picked up 71 points, putting himself 1 point behind Gylfi Pleasures, and High Sigur did have a very good weekend, finishing 1 behind Alex, who went from shit to very good, but that's something else. But like many of us, he put De Gea in goal, got 10 points. Vincent Kompany, he picked up. He must. I can't remember if he's. I can't remember if he would have gotten a goal or an assist against yeah, he got an assist against Tottenham, but the Spurs goal retracted a point, so just 4 points. Chris Smalling, he reacted to that 1-0 defeat to West Brom by scoring against Bournemouth and keeping a clean sheet. So 15 points for him. Well done, Heisiger, on that pick of Chris Smalling. Cedric of Southampton conceded 3 goals against Chelsea in the first weekend. So he went into this midweek game against Leicester on -1, but he kept the clean sheet against the Jamie Vardy team. So he picked up 6 points. Marcus Alonso, again, picked an assist up against Southampton. But, however, after the FA reviewed what went on between him and Shane Long, that ruled him out against Burnley, so he stayed on 3 points. Again, with this Europa League fighters, they've all picked Kevin De Bruyne as their captain, and they've all gained 4 points from this player. Ekshadin Shaqiri. Now, this is a theme that's gone on with Jamie Christie and Jamie Gordon, who I will not be talking about because he's very much relegated, despite him pulling away from Jacob Newman. But Shaqiri got an assist against. I don't know. Wait. He played for Leicester and he got 5 points. And what he did was he played for. Thinking about this, to be honest, I don't know if he played, but. Okay, I'm dwelling this too long. He's got 5 points. Sung Heung Min got picked 6 points up from the total 2 Spurs games. Gabardini, 1 point, which I think he would have played. He would have picked that up against Leicester City. Romelu Lukaku came off the bench against Bournemouth and added to his 2 points by scoring. His substitute goal from 6 points gave him 8. Harry Kane got 2 against Man City and then scored against Brighton in midweek, got 7. So about last week, I writ off Heisigur's chances of getting into the top 5, But after his incredible performance this weekend, he's right. He's right in that. If he keeps this going and continues to be like the old Jamie Christie, where he was in around my position, then yes, why can't he finish fifth? And this week episode's mid-table team I will be talking about is MUFC Reds, managed by Dorothy Howard. She also finished above Josh, and she in the manager of the week table, second with about finishing 6 points behind me, and many people had De Gea in goal, but only her and I captained De Gea because I decided to captain someone who played both games, and whereas Howard, who probably doesn't, these lower teams don't take it as seriously as us in the top four, but she just left De Gea in as a captain, so he remains with his 20 points automatically. Antonio Valencia just played the West Brom game and conceded, so 1 point, and was rested against Bournemouth. Janka, he's probably had the best weekend of his career. While not gaining much in the rest of the season and probably losing some, he assisted Watford's goal he assisted Huddersfield's goal and kept a clean sheet for when Tom Ince scored the goal to keep Huddersfield safe. I'm sorry, Josh, but that was probably the time to hold on to Tom Ince, defend him, and believe in him. There was a reason you'd picked him at the start of the season, and it wasn't just for what you had left for your money. It was because he scored the goal to keep Huddersfield up. But Ahmad Hegezi, he kept the West Brom's clean sheet. He was part of the West Brom team that kept the clean sheet away at Old Trafford, 7 points. Harry Maguire, I'm not so sure if he played against Southampton, but Burnley scored twice against Leicester, so that meant he went out of that game with nothing. And then he kept a clean sheet for Leicester against Southampton, so 7 points. Tadic of Southampton, he scored and assisted for the Chelsea against Chelsea. He would have done one of them, but that's why I'm not sure, because he might have played against Leicester, but he's got 10 points nonetheless. Mohamed Salah, the league's top scorer, and he picked 8 points up after the goal. Leroy Sané, 2 points. Javier Hernandez came off the bench for West Ham, and with no goals or assists, that just left him with a 1 point. And Romelu Lukaku, 8 points. Harry Kane, 9 points. So, MUFC Reds have done very well recently. She certainly reacted to being overtaken by the other female, Cheryl Monteau, who I'm told by Josh that's how you say her name, but Dorothy Howard has reacted to that by taking a rise, finishing second in the manager of the week, doing I don't know where she is in the manager of the month table, but but coming close to me in the Manager of the Week, and even jumped over Ollie Daniels to 8th and in the top half. I would say it's too late to make a playoff charge, but with some of the other stuff that's happening, it could happen. Down near the bottom, the two teams fighting to stay up and not join in Jagsters and AFFC. Starting with Wolf Boys, managed by Martin Booth. Both survival challenging teams came out with average totals. Hugo Lloris, he conceded 3 against Man City and then 1 against Brighton. But in that process, he picked himself 3 points, Man City giving them a lot, and also Brighton giving them some stuff to say about. Wes Morgan didn't play for Leicester in either of their games, so no points. Lovren was part of that Liverpool team who kept the clean sheet against Bournemouth, as well as Liverpool scoring 3 goals. David Luiz, still injured, so not playing. Alonso picked up 3 points. Eden Hazard, 9 points after assisting after scoring against Southampton and then coming off the bench against Burnley. Paul Pogba, after only gaining 2 points against bottom of the table West Brom, he then comes off the bench and assists Romelu Lukaku's goal against Bournemouth. Wilfried Zaha, Crystal Palace did had an excellent week with just their one game. I think it was just one game, but they beat their rivals Brighton by 3 goals to 2, and he picked up either 2 goals or a goal and an assist. I think it might be 2 goals. No, a goal and assist, because he's got 14 points. He had a beast of a game for Palace against Brighton. Sergio Aguero is still injured. Romelu Lukaku, who, like Pogba, he responded from his 2 points against the bottom of the table West Brom by coming off the bench and picking up points. But unlike Pogba, he wasn't the assist maker, he was the goal scorer. 8 points. And Dominic Solanke came off the bench against Liverpool, but didn't up his points, so it's just the 1 point, giving him a total of 52 points from the previous weekend. And in the top part of the relegation zone is a murder on Zidane's floor. Having not done as well as previously, a weekend ago or 2 weekends ago, he looks to his chances for surpassing Martin Booth is getting damper, being about I'm not going to count it because that's going to be some maths, and this is not a maths channel. But David De Gea was the goalkeeper, 10 points. David Luiz, he's no points because he's injured. Michael Keane in the Everton back line, 1 point. Kolasinac of Arsenal, I'm not 100% sure if he played, or conceded the 2 goals, but that's 0 points nonetheless. Ander Herrera, He picked up 2 points against West Brom and against Burnley, so 4 points. But he did score against Tottenham this weekend in the FA Cup to send Man United through to the FA Cup final. Idrissa Gueye for Everton. By the looks of things, he picked up an assist. So, but 5 points is the clearest bit. Dele Alli, 2 points. Sadio Mane scored against Liverpool. No, scored for Liverpool against Bournemouth. 8 points. Leroy Sané didn't pick up a goal or an assist. 2 points. Lacazette of Arsenal scored against Newcastle. And then Gabriel Jesus scored and assisted a goal. So 10 points for him, and a total of 49 points, and 2 away from 100 points for a total as of recording. But by now, because of the weekend I'm currently in, he would have gone at least 100 points in a month. Wow, that was a hard one to get through. I seemed excited to do this because there's a lot going on, and I performed exceptionally well, getting the Manager of the Week award, and also a fact I didn't have much knowledge to what was going on from that weekend because I'd lost my phone between Thursday evening and Tuesday afternoon. So that was intriguing to even see I was doing well from the weekend. And then building on my greatness to the midweek games. But this weekend there's going to be a lot less of it, and some teams had to even play their games before this weekend because of some of the FA Cup disruptions. So looking at this, I made, because you can get an extra transfer if you finish at least first, maybe even some higher places. So I made that count by bringing in players who will surely be playing, and I'm confident I can raise my game. In fact, the last time the FA Cup was here, I'd won that Manager of the Week game. However, the Liverpool game has ended 2-2, so I will not be relying on Firmino, Salah, or Robertson because I don't have Firmino. Robertson didn't play, and Salah just got the 1 goal. But he did get me 16 points. I wasn't thinking Liverpool would steamroll West Brom, but we're getting into the other week and not the week we are in. Well, it's okay. This is getting confusing, but what a week it's been, game week wise. Do give me some thoughts about this season or the weekend if you play in this league at all. So I'm going to leave it there.